What's up? What's up?
The PSI 4 and Killzone in their day one PS4 bundle for the UK for the equivalent of $500 US. So we said this on a while ago that there would be bundles with the PSI 4 to combat the Kinect 2 that's included in every Xbox One, but they only do it on the day one bundles, which still makes no sense to me. But I want to get everybody else's opinion on that too.
I've said it once and I'll say it again. You know, Sony, kudos for you taking the camera out in order to match, well, not match, but beat the price of the Xbox. Yet now you want to throw it in the bundle. And the Mizzle, you got to give them the other tidbit about the bundles. Where are the bundles going to be available at?
Oh, the United Kingdom. So that's only England and Northern Ireland, folks. United States, everybody else, fuck y'all. Y'all ain't getting it.
Wait a minute, that's not funny because that affects me too. But, yeah, no, the bundles haven't been confirmed stateside, so... Yeah, I don't know if that's good news or bad news. Good news if you live over there, but bad news over here. But my thing is this. Sony, you should have left the camera in. You know, we all know how peripherals work. You know, if it's something extra I gotta buy that's not truly gonna enhance my gameplay or really have a wow factor, probably not gonna buy it. Whereas, again, I've said this a billion times, with Xboxes, you know, you're going to have a Kinect. Eventually, you're going to take it out and you're going to try it. I mean, it's inevitable that you're going to try it. You're going to download one of those goofy demos and say, you know what, I've always wanted to try Kinect, and it's probably going to hook you. But that's just my opinion on that. Sony, bring the bundles to the U.S. Come on, man. Come on. Bring the bundles to the U.S. too. Brother Mugen, you got anything to say on that PS4 bundles?
Yeah, I mean, I just find it kind of weird how they're now starting to come out with bundles to match up for the Xbox One, because if you have looked lately, the United Kingdom, I should say Europe as a whole, has been doing better bundle deals than we are getting over here in America. They have a bundle where when you buy the Xbox One, you have a chance to either get FIFA 14 or Forza 5 from the start. We don't have that over here.
And Call of Duty.
And look at that. And even Call of Duty. So that's 3 bundles. And we don't have nothing yet like that. We'll have to buy the game separately from the console. And now the PlayStation 4 is apparently doing the exact same thing now by adding their camera, which should have been, you know, in my opinion, should have been with the console, but they try to match their prices, so that's their excuse or whatever. But they need to really respect every region and give out the same bundle, because then people's gonna complain and it's just gonna cause like massive amount of chaos among, like, you know, each and every country that it's like ported differently in. So
yeah, and it's interesting. I'm wondering they're getting a case of you know when we play Call of Duty, we see that the entire United States is lit up because we know, you know, we have U.S. gamers, but when that map rotates around in Call of Duty, those other countries aren't lit up as much. So I wonder if it's because, hey, we really want to get a foothold in this country, so look what we're doing for you guys exclusively. That word exclusive man, it's been murdering ever since ever since Xbox and PS2. That word exclusive, man, there's just something about something being exclusive, that allure just makes you want to get it because you know no one else can get it. But beyond that, I mean, if you have a core fan base, give it to everybody, man. And then it could hurt the retail market here because if I remember correctly, it is a region-free console, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, what's to stop somebody from trying to order the bundle overseas rather than spending that money right here in the U.S.?
That's true.
If they got
that
those
is
kind
true.
of connections. I mean, that's what I would do. Honestly, why would I buy something when I know I can get a better deal? Maybe I have to wait a little longer to get it, but hey. But that's it for that. Please comment below. Let us know what you think. We want some feedback on that. On to the next topic. Gonna hit the market here. Let's talk about some business. Ubisoft stocks have dropped. I believe the exact number is about $25. I think it hit as low as about $9 a share because of the delay of 2 games. They delayed 2 games, and their stocks got hit hard. So we're gonna start with brother Ketsuke on this one. What do you think? What do you think is causing this? Do you think it's really just those 2 games? Were those 2 games that impactful?
Well, I mean, you gotta think about it like this. They're both next-gen games. And since the fact that they ideally had the games to come out at an earlier release, the Crew is one of them that's supposed to be released of next year. I heard they pushed it back even further to probably maybe summer. Watch Dogs supposed to be a launch title that is now pushed back to probably spring of next year. And a lot of people, mind you, they reserved the game specifically to get it at launch date. And now all of a sudden they're getting withheld back. So of course that kind of hurt. That kind of hurt the market like a lot. So now there's like, oh, we're gonna fix the game. We're gonna make it better. We realize that next gen is upon us, and we're gonna try to graphically and just improve the game as much as possible to show that Ubisoft is coming into the next gen.
Okay, brother Demizzle, what are your thoughts on that?
I think if they truly want to take advantage of the next gen systems, it's a smart move because the hardware is now finalized. It's already in production, so they already know what they're working with. But it hurts. I think this hurts Sony a lot because Sony was offering Watch Dogs bundles with PlayStation 4s through the retailers and stuff. And I know a lot of people pre-ordered PlayStation 4 on the strength of Watch Dogs. So that's going to hurt them quite a bit. And I know, GameStops in this area have a lot of PlayStation 4 pre-orders open up because a lot of people went and got their money off the PlayStation 4, and they're like, since the game's not coming out that I want my money back. And I know at least 4 or 5 of my friends did that. They're like, yeah, dog, I got my money back off that PlayStation 4. Watch Dogs, it's not coming out. I remember a dude that I work with specifically, yo, man, on lunch I'm going to GameStop because I work about 5 minutes from a GameStop. And he went in and came back with $250 in his pocket. So that's how serious that was.
Well, if I were an investor, that definitely wouldn't make me happy. Because you have to question the decision making. Is it a good decision? Is it a bad decision? On the negative side, you're messing up the bundles, you're costing us pre-orders, and it was a highly anticipated game. This game was shown a lot at E3. A lot of people were excited, and I think a lot of people were even more excited with the release of Splinter Cell coming from the same company. It makes you say, wow, Splinter Cell was a fantastic game. I can't wait to get my hands on the next game from this company. And they're like, oh, got to wait a little longer to get it. But on the plus side, a delay usually means we want to give the fans more, or we want to fix something, rather than giving you a buggy game or, a game light on content and charging the crap out of you for DLC or giving you a super buggy game and you have to download 5 updates before the game is actually where they wanted it to originally be. But
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
no comment. I haven't played that. That hurt. That hurt. Turtles hurt, man. But anyway, those poor turtles. And in this market, man, the gaming market has changed. Like, there's almost no room for error. You know, the last, I would say, 3 years, man, you've seen the death of companies, and it's putting out bad games and making bad decisions. You know, Ubisoft is a juggernaut. I don't think they're gonna fold for it, but they're gonna have to be more careful in the future to avoid, you know, plummets like this. I might go buy some of their stock right now, actually, since it's so cheap. But
hey, it would be a good move.
I know, right? Moving on.
Stock tips with Newt 1949, brought to you by the New Fighting Order.
You be broke messing around with me. All right. Now, this topic is very personal, near and dear to my heart, and I know it's been talked to death. But dang it, I'm gonna talk about it some more. Grand Theft Auto 5. Oh, how I love thee. Yet the glitches have just marred the history of this game. I want to go first this time. Y'all two can have whatever left, whatever I don't say. You know, the thing is, I thought about this. It's very profound. Initially, when I got the game, I was getting off work, went to GameStop, picked it up. It was paid for, popped it in. Didn't know what to expect. You know, open world games usually get a little dry to me after about 10 hours in. I'm like, okay, the missions are a little bit repetitive. The city's not really alive. There's not a lot of fun. But Grand Theft Auto had me hooked. I was playing that game. I work a 9 to 5. So I'm putting in 4 or 5 hours a day. That's a lot for someone who works all day. And it was just fun. Every mission was different. It was new. The driving is butter smooth. The combat is butter smooth. The shooting is butter smooth. I'm just like, oh my God, thank you. Thank you so much, Rockstar. Then I'm looking at all the records they're breaking, making all this money, selling so many units. I'm so happy for them. I love them once again because GTA 4, in my opinion, wasn't all that good. And then they said, you thought the single player was something? Well, now go ahead and go online. And that's when the problems began. I, unfortunately, am one of those people who played online, and it corrupted my single player game. I was 65% finished with the game. I'm talking about a week and a half. Getting it. Gone. Loads up, I can run around, there's no missions available, and I can't switch to Michael. I mean, I was out, but I can play online. And I see that Rockstar is giving everyone, $500,000 to say, I'm sorry, you lost your online characters. People who had online characters built up, lost them. Thank you for the $500,000 online, that'll be very helpful, but my single player, man,
that'd be helpful until someone bucks you in the head. Pow, taste that.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because I have like the smallest bulletproof vest available, but I think that is going to mar, all the good, because we as human beings, let's face it, somebody can save 10,000 cats and 10,000 babies from a burning building, but if the next day they do something wrong, that's all they're going to be remembered for. And when people talk about Grand Theft Auto 5, they'll be like, man, it's a great game. Yeah, you remember when the online messed up? It's going to be the first thing people say. But Rockstar, I applaud you. You're one of the first games that I can remember that when you made a mistake like this, at least you reached back out to the community and you said, you know what, guys, because we messed up, bang, here's some in-game swag for you. And the money in Grand Theft Auto Online is very important. I can't lie. It is important. So I thank you for that. But I'm deeply hurt and saddened that I must restart my single-player campaign all the way the freak over from the beginning. So I'll be embarking on that journey starting tomorrow morning. I'm done. The Mizzle, you got anything else?
You know you will love every moment of re-embarking on that journey. You by tomorrow morning, you mean at 12:01 a.m. because you know you will be up.
God damn.
But yeah, man. But yeah, you pretty much hit it on the head with it. Pretty much everything that I've been hearing about it. Like people have been like, been like raging on the internet, but it's like a cocaine thing, yo. It's like, damn, I'm gonna kick it. I'm mad. I'm pissed. But they hooked me. I gotta go back in.
And for y'all that don't know, the Mizzle, you know, I felt kind of bad for him because he didn't get the game at launch. Good thing he didn't, huh?
Yes, but, indeed. I got that special edition for $60 last week with the pack. So my
a critical error by an employee at a certain video game company that I will not name.
Thank you,
because I wanted a website.
Thank you, Tisha, at GameStop number 1911 at Tanglewood Mall.
Damn!
Wow. He's joking, ladies and gentlemen. He made that up. Come on. All right. Elsie, you got anything to say about this Grand Theft Auto phenomenon?
Well, besides the fact that that glitch that basically kind of corrupts the single-player game, there's also, among that glitch, is quite a few glitches that basically bricks the Xbox, bricks the PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
You also have the money glitch where I don't remember exactly, and yes, I have not played Grand Theft Auto 5. I'm among that small percentage that has not got around to it yet, but there's...
Because you're still hooked on Diablo 3.
Damn, yo!
Oh my God. Don't get started, yo.
Let me not...
Might cut this podcast short.
Yeah, let me not go into that. But, there's a glitch where I don't know, like, if there's a mission or whatever online, but this guy literally, he jumped off a certain ledge, and apparently when you jump off the ledge, he was racking up money, and it was exploited to the point where you will get like $1 million in like the first half hour just by floating and gravitating in the air. And people would do that just to buy out everything and get whatever weapons they want and stuff like that. But Rockstar has addressed these issues. They're trying to take measures for it now by basically reimbursing us with $500,000 for Grand Theft Auto Online. They're also trying to fix the in-game story mode patch so that doesn't reoccur to anyone else that picks up the game again. A lot of people's been complaining about why can't they get their saves back and you guys like uncorrupt the data or something. And you know, a lot of people was upset because just like Brother Noob, he was about 65% in, 70% into the game, and the game just ceased to exist after that. So, hopefully Rockstar will learn this lesson. They have made a lot, they made a lot of money with making this game, and they will be making Grand Theft Auto 6. Hopefully the mistakes that they made with this one, which is minor, can be carried over to the next one, and it'll be better.
I don't know about that minor part.
To me, it's slightly minor compared to major games where like everything is fucked up and they have to keep updating it like consistently. Like Rockstar hasn't really. Damn.
They will never endorse us. Yeah, I get. I can't look at it as minor. You costing me 65% of my progress, man. That's like 16 hours of gameplay, but. You're right. You know, at least it's not going to take a whole bunch of updates. And then there was the disappearing cars in the garage. That made me mad. I really had Michael's car pimped out, dude. I spent like 30 G's on it, and I came back the next day, and it was gone. But then it popped up randomly, like 5 missions later. It just popped up somewhere in this driveway. I'm like, okay.
Dude, will they endorse us if we do Go Ninja, Go Ninja, Go?
He turned off his camera!
Go Ninja, go! Haha, I made another funny! Stop. On with the podcast. Alright, last couple topics. The Xbox One's newest features being revealed. We have the expert himself, Brother Nelson, who knows every single detail inside out. On the low, I think he actually has an Xbox One already and just doesn't want to tell us because he thinks we'll come and steal it from him with all this great information he has. So, Brother Nelson, go ahead and lead us in this discussion.
Okay. There has been discussion from previous months ago that what the Xbox friends list was going to be capped at. A lot of people's been saying, I hope it's over 100. I hope it's at least 1,000 or more. And just to officially confirm this, Xbox One will officially have at least 1,000 friends that you can friend request and have on your friends list at one point. There's also a following feature where you don't have to be on the person's list, but you can still follow them, such as if, let's say, you guys would like to follow us, keep in progress of what we do. That would be a great example. Not only will it track our progress, gamer score, activity, reputation, but it will also give you live, in a sense, Twitter feed of what is going on with the person you're following or whoever's on your friends list. I have been heard a rumor that the PlayStation 4 has over 2,000 friends that you can have, where it's capped. Hasn't been officially stated, but that's what I'm hearing.
That's a lot of friends.
Yeah, definitely a lot.
I don't even know that many people in real life.
Yeah, nah, I don't even have that many Facebook friends. But Dave, you got anything to say on that?
Yeah, man, I like it's essentially like the way Microsoft is doing it, because there are YouTube videos out there of the Microsoft team demoing the friends list, like Major Nelson / Larry Herb. He has a video of demoing it. It's essentially looking like the Facebook version of Xbox Live. So, like, you can... Another cool feature is, like, you can... In, like, Xbox 360, you can hit the guide button and essentially see what your friends are up to, what games they're playing, if they're on Netflix or stuff like that. But now on Xbox One, you can pull it to the right-hand side of the screen to where it's essentially a live feed, and it's updating all the time. And you can see, like, New 1949 is playing Killer Instinct, or a New 1949 and Nelson just joined a match with each other in Killer Instinct, or Demuzza Forezzo is playing Forza 5.
Dang! Inside joke much?
But yeah, I do like the Friends UI on the Xbox One. So throw this over to Nelson. What do you? Well, not Nelson. New. What's going on? What's your
I was so about to cut. If you wouldn't have switched to me so fast, I was gonna cut my camera off and go grab my 360 racing wheel and be like, I didn't have time to do it. Maybe in another video. I like the integration. I like the fact that the consoles are trying to get you to stay with them a little bit longer. They already suck away most of our lives, but with all this integration, 1,000 friends is very ambitious. But one thing I remember early on in my 360 career, if you would call it that, I had a lot of friends overseas, and I had a lot of friends in the U.S., and I did run out of room eventually at one point in time. I don't think I'll ever go over maybe 100 unless NFO just blows up and we get a bunch of cool followers on here when they accept you all. But that's a lot. I also wanted to touch on two things that Nelson said. With the following thing, I'm wondering, will we be able to form groups? You know, like if me, the NFO team says, hey, let's form an NFO group, and we'll actually have an Xbox Live group that can be followed. And when people look at the group, it'll give them insight on the members of that group. That'd be hot. That'd be extremely hot. Also, reputation. Reputation is extremely important. Extremely important this time around. First of all, Xbox has said they're going to take a very deep, long, hard look at reputations, and they're going to filter you, through certain games. And you're going to basically, if I'm one of those people who quits early and talks trash and I'm unfair, when I start matchmaking, as people reported, of course, when I start matchmaking, they're going to start matching me up with only people that are like me. So if I'm a dirty player who quits early, when I try to matchmake, they're gonna put me with other players who are, play dirty and quit early. So your reputation is pretty much gonna determine your game experience, and I like that. But there's a downside. What if I'm legitimately good and I'm just whooping you, yet you send a bad, rep report on me? Because that's happening. I looked at my reputation recently. I don't have a good reputation on 360. I noticed that, but
let me cut you off right there because I'm with you on the not having a good reputation because I have a lot of aggressive complaints against me, but they said the way they're gonna do it is that they're going since they can you can DVR your gameplay and stuff like that, they're gonna look at the actual gameplay and stuff like that and have community policing to see if the complaint was actually warranted and not just go off the strength of the person who's complaining. So it's not gonna be like, okay, he's complaining that this person's aggressive or he's complaining that this person's a rage quitter. Because if they did it only like that, you can essentially gang up on a person. Like, okay,
yeah, exactly.
NFL crew, let's get this person out the frame. Let's say he's a rage quitter, so he only gets matches up with rage quitters. So that's not going to happen, thankfully.
Yeah, so hopefully Microsoft, y'all stick to what Brother DeMille just said, and you actually monitor this stuff. Because I know some of the stuff I have is unwarranted because I play Gears of War, I play Call of Duty, and I just pop fools. I'm sorry if I go, 5 execution rounds and get 30 kills, and you want to send a bad report on me because your team got wiped up. That's not cool. You lost, you lost. I do talk trash, though. Sorry. All right.
Well, real quick, before you start on the next topic, there are 2 more features. You don't have to really get into depth. It's just something that you would need to know. The backwards compatibility. A lot of people have been wondering, is the Xbox One backwards compatible? Are we going to be able to play my arcade games? Are we going to be able to play your games on demand that you've previously downloaded to your console? The answer is not right now. Not right now, as in the focus for the Xbox One was to be a new console, new games. There's been a lot of complaints and reports that they would like to have the console backwards compatibility. So now what Microsoft is suggesting that they will be making the console backwards compatible, just like they did with the Xbox 360 when they was making Xbox original games compatible to the console. They'll be doing the exact same thing with arcade games and disc-based games. It will just take some time. It'll basically be like an emulation. So that will be done. Also, there's going to be a new feature for the Kinect. I don't know if it's in full effect, but it's called a Lumi Room. Lumi Room is basically shortened for, I guess you could say like a projection mode. And what that does basically, let's say you have your TV, and the perfect example is a driving game. You have your TV, it will be your front window, it will be the front of the car, you'll see yourself with the steering wheel, stuff like that. You tell Xbox, go big. And what that will do, it will scan the room, depending on where your Kinect is at, and it will basically blow up the image. So now, let's say the TV is right in front of me. Your right side of the room, with your right side view, will be the right view of the game. So you'll be able to see the crowd and the right side of your car. Same thing with the left side, same thing with the rear. So you can see cars behind you. And it will give you a grand, full experience, not only in racing, but in shooters to become more aware, to actually seem like you're in the war and in the fight. And if you're playing a fighting game that's a 3D base, it just makes everything so entertaining. Just like if you used to play Rise multiplayer and you're playing in like the Coliseum itself, it feels like you are the gladiator. You are in Rome. You are fighting to the death with that experience. Also,
wow.
Let's see. Is there anything else to touch up on this topic? 1 second.
Just a quick comment.
Yeah, ahead.
Star Trek geeks, the holodeck is coming.
Wow, he deadass said that.
Okay.
Okay, that's the thing I want to talk about. The remote play feature. PlayStation 4 and Xbox One has implemented this feature within their next-gen consoles. But to shed on some light, if you guys don't know what that means, let's say, for an example, I get stuck by playing Rise, okay?
Diablo.
Or Diablo. Let's just sort of say, which will never happen based on what these guys can tell you. and I get stuck at a certain part.
That's true.
Noop or Demizzle can come in from where I'm at and basically do remote play. I get to still see what's going on, but I don't have to touch the controller no further. They will now be taking control, just like how I would if I was to log into someone's computer and do a troubleshoot. It'll be the same thing, but they'll get to play the game. And I could see this feature being implemented with professional players to make some quick cash. Not trying to say, trying to make a little scheme go on here, but that's what more likely it will result down to.
Dude, I was about to say the same thing, man. like you have in massive multiplayer online games, you have these gold farmers. You're gonna have professional achievement / accomplishment hunters now, and like you're gonna be like, okay, yo, for $20, I'll complete this game for you, so you get all the achievements. And I can see where that's gonna head, because you got these people who are nothing but achievement hunters out there that just play the games for the sake of the achievement. So I can see that totally happening.
And to me, that's very, very weird. Like, at the end of the day, I love my games. I enjoy my games. I play it for just the fun and the love of the game, to see what I can do, to see what I explore. But if you get to a point where you're paying someone to get an achievement inside of a game which you already paid for, that you have the ability to, if you really put your mind to it, get the achievements yourself, you need help. Go to www.gamerhelp.com. We're here for you. Moving forward.
Or I am so lazy that I can't log on to YouTube.com.
Yeah, really. YouTube was the death. YouTube and BradyGames.com were the death of strategy guides. I don't even know why companies come out with strategy guides anymore. It's like just for the artwork. But yeah, remote play and games aren't even hard anymore these days. Let's face it. I mean, man, you go back to you can even go back as far as PS1. You had some difficulty there, but now, man, when I get games, I crank them all the way up. And the only reason they actually get harder is because they make the enemies do more damage, rather than the AI actually being different, or me having other challenges thrown at me. So if you need remote play, I think that's geared towards like the younger audience. I can't see myself being stuck unless it's like an RPG or something like that. But moving forward, and I added an extra topic on here. Why? Because I felt like it. But we're going to talk about the battle of the cameras. Kinect versus the PS i4. Or the PlayStation i4. Or the i for PlayStation. Whatever.
Or that camera that comes with the PlayStation 4 in the UK now.
That doesn't come with the one. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and let the Mizzle start this very interesting SmackDown.
Alright, well, within the past few weeks, Microsoft has been demoing the Kinect 2 online. There's various videos of them doing stuff on YouTube, and it's very, very groundbreaking stuff. And before, like, they're showing off the fidelity of it. Like, the Kinect can now see you in a pitch black room, because the way it lights up, it uses the ambient lighting from your television screen to pick you up where the room within a pitch black room, and it can detect your heart rate through your facial features and everything. It can also detect muscle mass and like a muscle shifting within your body. Like, for instance, how a person stands, they usually don't stand with both the weight evenly distributed between both legs. They usually like stand resting on one leg while one is just having all the weight. And the Kinect picks that up by showing the focus on like the muscle in the avatar leg. In the demo that they showed, it turned red to show that there was pressure being put on the one leg as opposed to the rest of the body that is supporting your whole body. So that's great stuff. And then they showed off like, if you're doing aerobics and punching, like say for a boxing game, it'll actually show the intensity of the punch by measuring the force, and it calculates the speed at which you threw the punch and how fast it stopped. to register how much force was in that punch. So this is great stuff, like that we're seeing from the Kinect too. PlayStation i4, they're just saying, they're making a whole bunch of promises like, yeah, we can do facial recognition, we can do this, that, and the other, but they haven't come out and shown anything on the level that the Kinect 2 has so far. Like, the Kinect 2's fidelity is so good that the 3D, like, its 3D model is so in-depth that it can pick up actual facial features. Like, it can detect wrinkles, it can detect your hairstyle, it can detect facial growth, like if you have a goatee that protrudes from your face, it can detect the wrinkles in your actual clothing. That's how in-depth the thing is. So this is, like, I was excited for the Kinect 2 before, but seeing this stuff really makes me excited because now it's essentially giving the developers all the tools that they want. And it's going to be included in every Xbox One. Like Larry Herb was saying, like a game out there it's like a character on screen will be talking to you, the player. And you'll be, like, if you look away from the screen, the character on the screen will detect that through the Kinect and say, hey, I'm talking to you. And it's just great stuff that they're doing with this thing, and I can't wait to see more.
Very, very good stuff. Very good rundown. Very good synopsis. Brother Nelson?
Well, basically, based off of his description, it's looking into our soul. It reads us. So that's kind of creepy. I gotta say, Xbox, it's kind of creepy. Because I don't want you...
This will not be the console for American Indians.
I don't want nobody knowing, like, I have joint pain or knowing that you can see every single part of my body like that. That's kind of creepy. But in the sense, this does open up a whole new realm within gaming for the Xbox and Microsoft as a whole. Because now, I was hearing that on IGN... they have a to-be-announced release date on the brand new Fight Night game. I would definitely like to see the Kinect do something with Fight Night. That would be something to really, really expect with all the face detection, the body detection. Now you can physically say, like, okay, I'm in the game, my character, and it would show everything, whatever clothing I'm wearing or whatever and stuff like that. And you can make the punches, you can make the blows and everything. That would be great. But in the sense, I am really excited about the Kinect as a general because in the previous topic, I was talking about that whole thing where it blows up the image of the game into like a big projection mode and you get to like literally see everything in a 3D realm. That got me excited. I was like, oh shit. So definitely cannot wait for the Kinect 2.0 to be released along with the Xbox One on the 22nd of November.
And, you know, I'm going to go ahead and address it now. Everyone who calls us Xbox fanboys, you're getting a lot of information on the Kinect camera and not too much on the PlayStation camera because the Kinect camera is being exposed. They're showing us the videos. They've been talking about it from day one. Why? Because it's integrated with the console. It has a true purpose. There is a reason for it. They put billions of dollars into it. Because they want you to use it. They want you to have it. And that's why it's being included with every console. Because they want us to experience the evolution of gaming through that camera. You know, some of the features are a bit creepy. I wonder if some of that stuff can be adjusted, adapted, and turned off. It's also been confirmed that you don't need the Kinect camera connected at all to use your Xbox One. But it makes me wonder about Sony's commitment with their camera. You know, it's like, hey, you can buy it or not. So if it's a or not thing, how much money and how much development are you truly going to put into this thing to make it as amazing as your competitor's camera? Because by not including it, you're pretty much saying, to me, it's like saying our camera is inferior because we're not going to include it. So you can just get the console and get the camera if you want. Whereas Xbox is like, our camera is so dope, we're going to include it. You want this, so we're gonna give it to you. They're telling us that we want it, and they're backing it up. And beyond that, moving into the last thing, the Xbox One is on the road right now, traveling to I think a bunch of major cities to let people actually play the console before it drops. Do either of you two know if the PlayStation is doing the same thing? If Sony's doing the same thing?
Sony is
Eventually,
doing the same thing. They're doing it only in retails. They're not doing on the road basis. They're only doing it in particular retails such as GameStop, Walmart. Certain parts of the UK have like a specific store that's getting it, and of course all Sony stores will be doing that. But it will only be demoing, I think, like 3 demo games and 1 exclusive, to where the Xbox is going to be having all exclusive titles and demos playable on the mobile.
Yeah, like Sony, like the Xbox One was already on the Jimmy Kimmel show with the Kinect 2, so I'm sure Sony will try and get on the Jimmy Kimmel show since he's like a big game head and he likes to do like a gaming section on his show. But as Nelson said, it's like they're doing it with the PlayStation 4 on such a limited scale. It's almost like they're kind of not as confident in the console right now. It's like eventually we'll have the dope stuff, but we don't have it at launch. Our big hook is being being $100 less than the Xbox One. So it's like, okay, I like what Microsoft is doing. They're actually out in front of the console, and they have been since that disastrous reveal. But Sony, they kind of rested on their laurels, like, hey, you know what? $100 less than Xbox One. And they thought that would be it, but now they're finding out that Microsoft has a lot of hustle, and admittedly they have to make up for a lot of mistakes that they made, but they have a lot of hustle in them, and Sony is finding this out, and they gotta get on the grind too with the PlayStation 4, because at TGS, even though that's like Sony and Nintendo territory over in Japan, nobody was excited for PlayStation 4. Like, they were like, well, it looks nice, but I don't think I'm gonna get one until later, because the general consensus was there wasn't anything that really appealed to Japanese gamers, and to that fact, Sony isn't bringing the PlayStation 4 out in Japan until I think it's February of next year.
February of next year.
February of next year, for the simple fact that they don't have, according to them, they don't have enough games that aimed at the Asian audience. So what typically is Sony's home base isn't getting the console until next year, which makes no sense to me. So that's kind of lukewarm on both consoles in Japan, but lukewarm towards Sony is very surprising to me in Japan.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for our October 18th podcast. Once again, we're going to try to hit you with a video every week, or at least every other week. We want to give you some good, meaty, chunky content. We don't just want to do a video for the sake of doing the video. But again, we know y'all missed us, so we pulled every little scrap we could together. Before we get out of here, I'm going to go ahead and go around the table and see if anybody has any final comments. Nelson?
Basically, just keep following us. If you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do so. We're trying to update the content every so often. I'm also working behind the scenes, though you don't see us on camera as much or don't hear from us at all within podcast or like videos in our own little spots. We're just trying to do the best of our ability to just get ready and prepared for the new year and get as much information as we can possible. So if you don't see anything or lack of videos, we're doing like actual stuff behind the scenes as well and personal things within our lives. And lastly but not least, we'd like to shout out Alex, because he's still out there, doing his thing and whatnot. Hopefully he makes it back home safely, and hopefully he does watch this video when he sees the notification on his Facebook wall. So, shout outs to him.
The Mizzle?
Yeah, as Nelson said, big shouts to Alex Lexus, come home safe, Army strong, baby. Sergeant Elmera if you want to get at him. So just be safe, man. And you got the whole NFO crew standing behind you along with the fans. So do your thing. Get back to us so we can bullshit on the podcast.
Yeah, be safe, Alex. But, in closing, the console war it's crazy. Sony came out swinging. Microsoft got knocked back. They picked their mouthpiece up. They rinsed it off. They put it back in, and they got right back in the fight. They made the changes that we asked for. They're giving the gamers the games that they want. And that head of steam that Sony had has run out. So now it's back to what I've been saying from the beginning. We're just going to have to wait and see what happens when these consoles come out. Who's going to actually deliver on all this content that they're promising? That's what I'm waiting to see. So until next time, this is the NFO crew signing out. Y'all be easy. Peace.
Peace.